A blind woman on the train reached out, touched my face, and immediately moved to another car. I've taken the 540 every morning for 3 years. Same seat, second car, left side by the window. I know every face on that train. I know the guy who eats a hard-boiled egg at 602 and makes the whole car smell like a middle school gym. It's routine. Nothing surprises me anymore. Then she got on at Burwood Station. She had a white cane and dark glasses, moving carefully down the aisle. The car was crowded. I slid toward the window to give her room, and she sat down next to me, folding her cane across her lap. Normal, fine, no problem. We were 2 stops in when she turned toward me. I'm sorry, she said quietly. Do you mind? I need to get my bearings. Before I could answer, she reached out and placed both hands gently on my face. It lasted maybe 4 seconds. Her fingers moved across my forehead, my cheekbones, the line of my jaw. Then she stopped. She pulled her hands back slowly. Then she stood up, grabbed her cane, said nothing, and walked to the next car. The doors didn't even open. She just walked through the connecting door between cars and disappeared. I sat there for a second. The egg guy looked at me. I looked at him. He shrugged and went back to his egg. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe she had the wrong person. Maybe she got embarrassed. I spent the next hour at work cycling through explanations, but I kept coming back to her face. When she first sat down, she seemed calm. By the time she pulled her hands away, she looked like she'd touched something she wasn't supposed to. I couldn't let go. I went back to Burwood Station that evening on my way home. Long Shino, but I sat on the bench near the entrance for 20 minutes, and then I saw her coming up the steps. I stood up. She stopped a few feet away, cane sweeping the ground in front of her. Excuse me, I said. You were on the 540 this morning. You sat next to me. A long pause. I remember. She said, can I ask what happened? Why you moved? She was quiet for a moment, her head tilted slightly, like she was deciding something. Do you know a man named Garrett Solis? My stomach dropped. Garrett Solis was my college roommate. We've been close for years. About 8 months ago, he started acting strange, pulling away, short-tempered, paranoid. I brushed it off as stress. We still grab coffee every few weeks, but something was different, and I couldn't name it. He's a friend Hoffman, I said. She nodded slowly. He's my ex-husband's younger brother. 7 years ago, my ex-husband assaulted me. Garrett was there that night. He helped cover it up, lied to the police, helped his brother disappear before he could be charged. I couldn't speak. I learned to identify people by touch, she said. Forehead, jaw, cheekbones. It's just something I do now. I can't always trust voices or context, but hands don't lie. She adjusted the grip on her cane. I recognized you from photos in my ex-husband's apartment. Garrett had them. You two together, camping trips, graduations. I didn't know who you were, but I remembered your face the way I remember all of them. I was trying to piece it together. So, you moved because I didn't know if you knew what he did, she said. I didn't know if you were safe. So, I gave myself distance to think. We stood there on that platform for another hour. Her name was Rosalie. She told me everything. The night her ex-husband heard her. The months offering to get someone to listen. Garrett showing up at her apartment and telling her that if she kept pushing, she'd lose. That his brother had money and connections, and she had nothing. She believed him. She stopped, and Garrett had been walking around for 7 years as my friend, the guy I met for coffee who I thought I knew. I went home and sat in my apartment for a long time. The next morning, I called Rosie and told her I believed her completely. Then I called a lawyer she'd already been quietly speaking with. Garrett's brother had made some financial mistakes recently, and there was renewed interest in the original case. They needed a witness willing to testify that Garrett had admitted his involvement. I wasn't that witness. I hadn't known, but I had 7 years of conversation stored in my memory. And one in particular from about 2 years ago, when Garrett, a little too relaxed after a long night, said something about his brother that I'd written off as a vague, strange comment that I didn't write off anymore. Rosalie's lawyer called it a corroborating thread, small but real, part of a larger picture they were already building. Garrett was deposed 4 months later. His brother's case was reopened. I haven't spoken to Garrett since. He called 3 times. I'll let it ring. I still take the 540. Same seat, left side by the window. But sometimes I think about how close I came to spending the rest of my life having coffee with someone I never actually knew. And I think about a woman who learned to see the world through her hands. And how on one ordinary Tuesday morning, she saw something I had missed for 7